Hey, everybody. Hey, welcome to this latest episode of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning. This is officially the first Movies Merica spoiler warning of the year 2026. Yep, everybody, we got through 2025, and 2026 is looking just so much more peaceful than 20. Okay, maybe not. All right, there you go. It's a little turbulence out there here in this good old country we call the good old U.S. of A. here, but that is of no concern here to us here tonight because you're watching a movie show here, and you can get to all that other stuff here later on. You can pause that for right now and get on board this Movies Merica spoiler warning show all about Avatar Fire and Ash, which is a movie that has plenty of fire and ash for you to enjoy, all right? But before we get too ahead of ourselves and get too far into the movie and into this episode here, first, this.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
All right, everybody. Hey, welcome back here, and I want to welcome my movie maniacs and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics out there, all right? And we are going to be talking about the latest from James Cameron. You guys all know, I know you guys love James Cameron. Maybe you don't love the Avatar movies, but I know you love some of his past movies. I mean, the guy's a legend. He came out with a Terminator and Aliens and T2 and The Abyss and True Lies and Titanic. I mean, my God, this guy's just, he's a legend. He's just got quite the resume over here. I mean, he's, he can look back and just point to all these movies and like, hey, I did that. Or I did that. What did you do? Did you do anything? Did you do anything? No. Well, hey, dude, I made T2. All right, there you go. Yeah. And did you think Linda Hamilton looks pretty sexy in T2? Well, I married her there, buddy. All right. So yeah, James Cameron, he's had some really good success with movies and in life. Maybe not his personal life. I think the guy's been married 17 times, but you know what? I guess movies take a long time to make, and you're away from home a lot and all that stuff. But that's and I'm not going to play marriage counselor to James Cameron. I'm here to be your outlet for a discussion about Avatar Fire and Ash, whether you love, like, dismiss, or outright hate these movies. This is the place to be, the show to watch, to let me know, hey, you hate this movie, you're about this movie, I kind of like it, or I love this movie, man. I pray to this movie. I worship this movie. So if you're in one of those categories, get in the live chat and let me know how much you hate it, how much you love it, or somewhere in between. And that's the perk of this show being live is, yes, you can get in a live chat in Rumble or YouTube, and then we can communicate back and forth with each other about this movie or really any movie. I mean, when it comes down to it, you can live chat with me about anything you want in the live chat. Like, what am I going to do to enforce it, right? I don't have like some live chat Gestapo, that's going to, drop in from your ceiling, and fast rope in your house if you live chat something I don't like. Like, no, you get in the live chat, go crazy, try to throw me off during the show because I do try to stick to a game plan, when I'm doing this show, when I'm talking about a movie and that kind of thing. And I try to get it over here and I try to keep it organized. But hey, the live chat is your opportunity to throw me off any kind of game I think I might be on right there. So, but anyway, let's get into the live chat. Already, yeah, I've covered that pretty well already. I'm sure you guys are saying, but yeah, let's get into some Avatar Fire and Ash here. And hey, you know what? Someone heard the call about the live chat right there, and that is my good buddy Lindy Rig 87. And he says, I will absolutely do that. I absolutely will do that. Chatter, beware. There you go. I like that. I like that ominous sound of that live chat right there. And yeah, and give him some company up in a live chat right there. Okay. I mean, it's like, trouble loves company. I was going to say misery loves company, but I don't think Lindy Rig 87 is miserable or anything like that by any means. But, trouble, deviousness, being naughty, it loves company. So there you go. In the live chat and keep my man Lindy Rig 87 some company up in the live chat there in Rumble. He's on the Rumble side there, but these Avatar movies here, okay, I'm sure I've got people that agree with me on this, that they have a shelf life, okay? And then it's for some, they never had a shelf life because they, from the jump, just plain did not like these movies whatsoever, okay? For many, the groundbreaking CGI that James Cameron introduced and vibrantly shows on screen, was enough to keep them going to these movies. But now we've had 3 of these movies, and all the ooh and oh is wearing off. Okay, and Cameron is going to have to bring something earth-shatteringly different with the next one, be it an actually interesting story or a screenplay that features, compelling characters. Okay, give us some characters that we actually care about what's going to happen to them. I mean, I watch this and I'm like, okay, wait. First off, I don't know the names of any of the characters, even though they've said the names of these characters like multiple times in this movie. But I don't care about any of these characters. That kid could die. That kid could die. It'd be hilarious if the human kid with the mask fell off that tree right there. I don't care. They're not compelling characters. Or he should introduce us to some, mind-blowing, new and different CGI sight for us to see, all right? Because there is no shortage. I mean, obviously, we all know, anybody would admit, like, my God, we have a glut of movies that have CGI in them today. I mean, it's not exactly a diamond in the rough to have a movie that's just chock full of CGI. And so you really got to stand out in your CGI to get people to like your movie here. And so that's one of the things that Cameron's going to have to do in his next movie if he does end up making Avatar 4, which he has made part of it already because he filmed part of it in line with The Way of Water and with Fire and Ash because he didn't want to run into that whole Stranger Things problem, right? Where you get all the characters on the Stranger Things, the kid characters on Stranger Things, and the Duffer Brothers. They found they realized they had a problem. Like these are supposed to be wee little kids, and by the time I got to like season 5 of Stranger Things, they were almost ready to be part of the cast of the reboot of Cocoon. Well, maybe not that old, but they just couldn't pass for teenagers anymore. Okay, and so James Cameron didn't want to run into that same problem, same Stranger Things problem there. So he wanted to, film all the kids, when they're, at a certain age so that it doesn't look odd later on. But all that to say, he's filmed part of Avatar 4. That's not to say he's going to release it or the studio's going to release it. I think they would. I mean, Avatar Fire and Ash, I mean, hate it or love it, it's already made $1 billion. I mean, I think well, I mean, it came out in 2025, but I don't know. It's already made $1 billion. So I guess you could say it's one of the 2 or 3 movies in 2025 that to make $1 billion right there. So I would not be surprised if we get Avatar 4 here. But yeah, we need some different CGI. We need some different stuff to make our jaw drop, right? I mean, we've seen the forest of Pandora, we've seen the sky, we've seen the ocean, and all the big, the Tolkien, those big whale characters, and all these cool ocean characters and all that stuff. We've seen it; it's been done to death, and so Cameron is going to have to wow us like he did in The Abyss when he showed us, that CGI water tentacle, or pseudopod is the technical name for it, that none of us, when we first saw The Abyss back in 1989, Ed Harris, Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio, the oil crew, down in the submersible, big whatever, that underneath the ocean, that whole movie with that whole plot, and they run into aliens, and the first alien encounter they have was that liquid pseudopod, little water tentacle shows up, and none of us had seen anything like that before. When we saw that, in the abyss, we're like, holy shit, what is that? It just like our jaw dropped and our eyes popped out of our head, right? And another good CGI example of that is when he showed us the Titanic sinking, right? There. So, and Lenny Riggs over in YouTube now. Man, that guy gets around. I'll tell you, he gets around. I'll tell you, mad respect for you, Lenny Riggs. He's in the live chat on YouTube right there. He's like back and forth, back and forth. There you go. Yeah, I mean, I want my jaw to drop to the floor again at the movies, like back then, like with, like I said, The Abyss and Titanic, hell, T2, you got the T1000. That was some cool ass CGI. And again, I want my jaw to drop from something like that, not from some absurdly stupid line from a character in the Avatar movie or me slipping on someone's spilt Mountain Dew at the theater. Okay, I just want my jaw to drop for a good reason, for a positive reason, right there. So, but outstanding. And real quick here, just popped into my head here after my Avatar Fire and Ash diatribe right there that I haven't told you guys about the old like button yet. So, and just like all the other shows on Rumble and YouTube and all that stuff, yes, we have a good old like button, and the old like button is right on down there, waiting for you to press on it, because it's lonely down there. It's lonely. It's down there in its solitude. It's down there just playing some solitaire and playing some sad 70s slow jam music. It's so sad. And it wants you to perk it up by clicking that like button there. All right. If you felt like something's giving you the side eye, it would most likely be that like button. So go ahead and hit that like button. And then while you're down there clicking buttons around that area code, go ahead and click that subscribe or follow button down there if you haven't already. Okay. If you already have, don't click it again because you'll unsubscribe or unfollow, please. Don't do that. And then also there's the notification bell down there. Just got to click on that and it'll do exactly like what it kind of sounds like it's going to do. It's going to notify you via one lowly email to let you know that there is a brand new, piping hot, fresh, delicious new episode of Movies Merica coming hot out of the oven right there for you. All right. And then lastly, this is directed for, to my viewers that weren't able to watch live. You just watch a recording of this. Hey, I always appreciate you guys watching there as well. I know that life doesn't always let you watch the show live. You got kids, you got car repair, you got gardens to maintain, you got, sock drawers to maintain and cats to floss. And so you don't always have a chance to watch live. So, but I appreciate you watching the recording all the same. And all that to say is that we can still communicate back and forth with each other about Avatar or any movie or hell, any subject you want via the comments section down below, the old comments section. So that's where you go down there to, rip me a new one or sing my praises or whatever you want to do. Okay. So that is what you do. And I look forward to hearing from you in the comments section. Let me have it. Love, hate, death threats, whatever you want to do. Put it in the comments, and I do read them. And I do not. I don't read them and like, oh my god, I hope nobody said anything bad about me. Like, no, I don't do that because I can take the criticism. All right, so I can take it. Let me have it. There you go. All right, I'm gonna take a drink off my beer here, and I will be talking about this beer in a little bit more detail, actually a lot more detail, later on in brew review time. But for right now, I'm just drinking this thing. I'm just drinking. That's a little taste of Germany. Germany's there. Little taste of the motherland. Yes. And all right, more Avatar, shall we? Yes. And of course, like I already mentioned him a little while ago, but Spider, the little human boy that has to walk around with the mask, the oxygen mask there, so he can breathe on Pandora. And he was introduced in Way of Water, right? And of course, we all know he's the son of Miles Quaritch, or excuse me, Colonel Miles Quaritch, the character played by Stephen Lang. And of course, they introduced this new Spider storyline into Fire and Ash, where suddenly his mask is a problem all the time. I mean, it's just laughable. In Way of Water, I mean, Spider, we got to know him. He was, in that movie throughout the whole movie. He had the mask on the whole time. That movie was like, 3 hours and 10 minutes long. And not once in that movie did he have a problem with his mask almost running out of oxygen or anything like that, or he forgot his mask or anything like that. But then suddenly here in Fire and Ash, I guess he completely turns into a complete inept moron, where he is either forgetting his mask or he's forgetting to refresh the oxygen in his mask or something like that. So it's this contrived storyline that they invented here. It's just clumsily manufactured drama with his mask that they should have incorporated this at least a little bit in Way of Water. I have a couple of instances where Spider's mask is almost out of air, or he forgets his mask in Way of Water. So that way, when you see it in Fire and Ash, you're like, oh, okay, wow, okay, this makes sense. It's not so awkward. Okay, I'm detecting a pattern here. Spider, not the sharpest knife in the drawer there, and so I get it. All right, so then it wouldn't seem so contrived in Fire and Ash there, but they have to have it, in that. And again, I think they had to have it in this movie in order to introduce the subplot that they do introduce in this movie, where Spider is gonna have to almost die because his mask runs out of oxygen right there. That had to happen in order to establish the subplot, but it wouldn't have been so stupidly awkward if they would have actually had that Spider storyline, at least a little bit, peppered in to the Way of Water. But then, of course, they had to have that storyline, or he had to almost, die, from a lack of oxygen, so that they could introduce a subplot of, oh, hey, Spider, suddenly he can breathe on Pandora, because I think it's Kiri, or something like that, or Kiri a laser, or whatever, Mr. song, or Kiri, I think is the name. I think it's the name of the character that Sigourney Weaver plays, or it's a character where Sigourney Weaver looks like a little girl, but she has like Sigourney Weaver's old lady voice, which is kind of creepy. But so Sigourney Weaver's like praying to Awa, saying, "Please save Spider, he's about to die." And then I guess Awa thinks that Spider's a good dude. So Awa is like the god of Pandora, right? She like supposedly, she's like, she lives inside Pandora, So and she decides, hey, I'm gonna save Spider. He's a swell dude, and I'm gonna give him the ability to breathe on Pandora. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give him a little Navi tail as well later on. I'm gonna give him a little Navi tail there. I'm gonna hook Spider up, man. Spider, you know what? You've been good to my Navi. All right, there you go. You're a good egg. And so that part I didn't have a problem with. But just the lead up to it, I thought was kind of stupid there. But then, of course, they have to have Spider getting the ability to breathe. Spider, a human, getting the ability to breathe, to give hope to the sky people, or the humans, right? The bad humans in this movie, where they see that Spider has gained the ability to breathe on Pandora. They're like, how the hell did this happen? And so they want to bring him in so they can cut him open and reverse engineer, how that happened. And then, of course, if they're successful, well, that means the Na'vi and all the native inhabitants of Pandora are shit out of luck, because then the humans will, invent a way for them to breathe on Pandora, and they could take over Pandora, and it's lights out for the Na'vi on Pandora. And so I thought that subplot was okay. It's something new. It's not particularly fascinating, but it's something new. Okay, James Cameron, you're coming up with something new here, there, and so. But I think they could have just done a spider storyline there. I know I'm gonna like talk that to death, but anyway. Now let's talk about something more positive here. Now, people may hate these Avatar movies or just think they're rather unimpressive. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not the biggest fan of them myself. Um, it's just the only. It's just the very cool, top of the line, state of the art visual effects that James Cameron and Weta FX is like the CGI studio that James Cameron works with on these Avatar movies, and Weta FX. They also work in other movies. They did the Lord of the Rings movies and all the Planet of the Apes movies that came out recently. But yeah, the vision, the top of the line, state of the art, like tip of the spear visual effects that they've invented. That's what's got me to go see these things right here. But however, you have to think though that one day a filmmaker with better storytelling skills than Cameron, they're gonna be the ones collaborating with Weta FX and make a movie that is not just eye popping. I mean, your eyeballs aren't just popping out of your eye sockets, right? But their movie is going to hit you right in the old feels right there. Okay, whether that be exhilaration or sadness or anger or all of them, right? I mean, I think the closest we've seen to what I'm talking about here is with those Planet of the Apes movies that I talked about, and and what Matt Reeves did with the second and the third of those Planet of the Apes movies. Again, like I said, Planet of the Apes, they also used Weta FX for their visual effects, and the visual effects in those Planet of the Apes movies. There, I'm not talking about the most recent one here, but the ones that came out of there with Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and then War of the Planet of the Apes. Those are two I'm talking about right there. And they had fantastic Weta FX CGI and Matt Reeves. I think Matt Reeves, he's the director of the second and third one. I think he might have also wrote those, but whoever wrote those incorporated like a lot of emotion and incorporated and invented these characters that you cared what happened to them there. And so that's about as close as we've come to a movie using the in the neighborhood of the same level of CGI that Cameron used in the Avatar movies, and has produced and provided a fascinating storyline with compelling characters that we actually give a shit, what happens to them right there. So, but now if we have to cope, talk about these Avatar movies, if we have to cope with some dopey movies, about Smurfs with bows and arrows that, James Cameron uses as a colonization lecture in order to get that type of visual effects technology, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll deal with it. I mean, that's a first world problem right there. Like, oh, I have to sit on my ass in a movie and watch this really cool visual spectacle in front of me. Oh my God, I have it so hard. I mean, my difficulties, my toils are right up there with coal miners and pioneers crossing the wilderness into the to travel to the west of the U.S. and traveling in a Conestoga. Oh man, this is just like the toil and strife they went to. Like, hell no. All right, it's a hell no. Just gorge on your hot tamales sitting in your seat in the theater and just pipe down. All right, it's not that bad there. And I'm directing that at myself. I mean, again, like I said, I think these movies are kind of dopey, but they are cool to look at. And so that's why I was recommending in my spoiler-free review of Avatar Fire and Ash back on Sunday. I was recommending that in the end, go spend the money, at the theater, particularly if you go to like an IMAX theater or a Dolby Audio theater, a PLF theater, a premium large format theater is what that stands for all the civilians out there. But yeah, check that out right there. And hey, we got Shawnee Mac up in the hizzy on the YouTube side, Shawnee Mac 1, that is. And he says, we party. Yes, we do. We party up in here in this show right there. If I can find my cursor, there we go. We party up in here. That is what I am talking about there. And I just want to try something here real quick. Let's see here. I'm going to try to multitask over here, and God knows we all know what happens and how that goes when I try that right there. So, all right. I think I'm going to kind of. Oh, that just reminded me. I gotta get rid of this. There you go. Yeah, I'm sure this is really fascinating for you guys to watch up in here. There we go. Oh, I know what I was looking for. All right, here we go. Let's. All right, I think I got my shit. I almost got my shit together here, everybody. Okay, it's probably that beer because I've had a whopping 2 drinks off that beer right there, so I'm so hammered right now. Totally, totally. Speaking of that beer here, I think it's the good Lord's way of telling me that it is time for brew review time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and gals, let me introduce you to a little Erdinger Oktoberfest beer right there. And this comes to us from Erding, Germany's motherland. Yes, yes, the home of all our baddies from the movie Die Hard, But yes, this is from their area. They're part of the world. And this is an Oktoberfest. It's a German wheat beer. But this has got a little bit of a different twist to it. It's a hybrid style because it blends a traditional Hefeweizen or Hefeweizen, however you want to say it, a Hefeweizen character with the rich malty backbone. Well, that's kind of fun to say. Rich malty backbone. With the rich malty backbone of an Oktoberfest lager, okay? And the aroma to this, it's got some sweetness to it there, a little sweetness to it. It's got some banana. They say that there's something like a clove aroma to this, to the nose. I didn't smell the clove, but I did smell like the lemon note here to the nose. Yeah, definitely getting that lemon smell right there. And then it's brewed with like a bready malt and a hint of grassy hops right there. As I try to stifle a beer burp right there, I know that's not very cool. It's got flavors of pear and orange peel and banana bread. I mean, this thing's it's got a whole pantry full of flavors in this. But don't let that gross you out because this, and I'm giving up the ghost right now. I would recommend this Erdinger Oktoberfest. This shit's good. It's the real deal, man. It's the real deal. Okay, I would pick me up some of this right here, and so don't be dissuaded because I just listed off like 27 different ingredients that it has in it right there. So because it's still got kind of it's still got a clean, crisp, consistency to it when you're drinking it right there. It hits the spot. It's got a great taste to it. And again, I'm not getting any money from Erdinger or anything like that. I'm not getting paid to endorse their brew or anything like that. If this thing, tasted like rotten sauerkraut, I would tell you that it tastes like that right there. But in good conscience, I can't tell you that because this shit is good. This shit is the shit. All right, there you go. And so it comes in at 5.7% alcohol by volume. Okay, so it's not going to knock you on your ass and make you go cross-eyed. If you drink one of these or anything like that, or even 5 of them. Okay. Now, if you're thinking of like drinking a few of these bad boys, here's some foods that you could pair with this particular brew. And so, since it is a Oktoberfest beer, paired with a Hefeweizen, it pairs well, of course, with traditional German fare. Okay, like bratwurst, like smoked pork and chicken, pretzels, sauerkraut, potato salad. There, I mean, all the favorites there. See, as I list that off, I'm also picturing my mind like if it would go pretty well with like some German potato pancakes or something like that. So, that would just God, I'm killing myself over. I'm killing myself over here, making myself hungry over here talking about this. But yeah, grab yourself some Erdinger Oktoberfest. You might have to, get on an app on your phone like Open Bar or Uber Eats or something like that. GoPuff.com is a website that you might be able to hook yourself up with this through there. But I'm a big fan. But instead of yapping about this, I'm going to drink this stuff right here. So here we go. Oh yeah, there you go. Had a problem controlling myself, controlling my appetites right there. But yeah, some really good stuff. And get yourself some of that. I don't want to hog it all for myself right there. But again, and that's a reminder that, whatever you're drinking tonight here while you're watching this, if you're, downing some brew or, something heavier or whatever, man, just say, hey, let me know in the live chat what you're drinking there. Yeah, because this is, this show is all about giving you the chance to just kick back and kick your legs up and just unwind because if you're like me, you had a pretty rough work day, pretty busy, and so you need a little decompression time. And so this is your decompression spot right here, everybody. Okay, but enough all about all that. It's time to wrap up some brew review time. All right, let me do this here real quick and switch it up right over here. Let's do that. I want to show you something that I think you're going to really be happy that I showed you. No, not that. Don't get excited. All right, there we go. But let's see here. Let's get this going on. Share that up in there. There we go. There we go. And present that. All right, there we go. I just want to show you the Movies Merica merch store, everybody. Yes, we got the Movies Merica merch. And first off, we've got the Movies Merica cap right here, or the Big Mugs logo camo trucker hat here embroidered there. So, and full disclosure, if you like the purple here on the lettering right there, I have to disclose that, yeah, there is no purple there on that. There's kind of some false advertising by the company that makes us those hats right there. So, because I was really looking forward, like, oh, I can't wait to get this hat. I love that purple there, that purple shadowing. But they don't do that. But for everything else I'm about to show you, they there is truth in these pictures right here, like the t-shirts and the drinkware. And we've got, I'll just kind of scroll down here. So here's all the stuff you can wear. You got the different shirts with the different Movies America logos here. Got baseball long sleeve shirts and hoodies and tank tops and sports bras, and there's all the hats. We got the Hollyweird version of the Movies America logo as well. And then now we're getting down to my personal favorite Movies America logo, the Black Adam style Movies America logo. I just think that looks so badass. And then, of course, we got, stuff that you can chug out of. You got your coffee mug, your pint glass. You got a koozie here. And then down here, we got kind of some stuff, for the home, for the homestead. We got the big mugs, Movies America desk mat here. We got a little smaller desk mat there as well. So yeah, very, very cool stuff. And I'm making it very easy for you to get your hands on all of this stuff right here, because all you have to do is down in the description for the show, you'll see the Movies America merch site URL or web address or link, I should say, in there. And yeah, grab yourself some of this stuff up in here in the Movies America merch store. All right, so there you go. I just wanted to show you that because I didn't want to hog it all for myself there. I did not want to do that at all. Okay, that's not what I'm about. I'm all about generosity. And yeah, feel free. You can get some merch, for people that you love in your life, or that kind of thing. Or maybe you have a sworn enemy that hates movies of any kind, and you're like, Let me get him a gift that he'll hate. And then you're like, hey, there's all these movie related items here on Movies America's movie on the Movies America merch store. I'll get him all this stuff right there and really torture him. There you go. And you can check that out as I figure out where my cursor's at. There we go. All right, but enough of the Movies America merch store propaganda. There you go. All right. I just want to remind you guys here that, yes, you guys can get in the live chat. Okay, get in a little live chat and enjoy the show. Enhance your Movies America live experience by, getting in the old live chat there because, you can, get in there and you can throw me off and distract me and all that stuff right there. I mean, if you're like, you know what, you were just talking about sworn enemies there, Van. Well, you are my sworn enemy. And I want to make your episode of Movies America, spoiler warning tonight, a living nightmare. Well, hey, I can't think of a better way than, to torture me than getting in a live chat and getting a live chat and letting me have it there. You can say, man, you're a dork, you're a dope, you have terrible taste in movies, and you make terrible Rice Krispie bars. I mean, that's one of the harshest insults anybody could land on me, man. I make the harshest Rice Krispie treats. Oh man, that cuts to the core, man. Cuts to the core. All right, let me grab another drink of my delicious beer from the motherland here, and then we're gonna keep going with some Avatar: Fire and Ash. All right. Oh, I did definitely taste the banana in that. Okay, let me rephrase. Now, let me be a little bit more careful. I tasted the banana flavor in that beer on that drink right there, so that was pretty damn good there. But also another thing in the live chat, another thing you tell me in the live chat is, hey, a movie that you want me to review coming up here because we are in the slow season. Slow season as far as movies go. That part of the year, January, February. There's gonna be more than a few weekends coming up here until we hit the the spring and summer movie season where there's just going to be some stupid ass movies or really no big movie releases. And so I could review like some old movies, some retro movies, some movies from like the 80s, the 70s, the 90s, whatever. Okay. And throw in the live chat some movies that you would want me to review. Okay. Now make sure it's a movie that you're pretty confident that someone's gonna, other people are gonna want to hear a review about. Okay, don't make it, belly button lint the movie or something like that. Like nobody wants me to review that movie. But you guys are smart. You guys are geniuses. You guys know what I'm talking about up in here. So there you go. Let's move on. All right, and I think it's surprising and kind of demoralizing that James Cameron is impressed with his supposed new profound villain, Varong, I think is how you say her name. And she's the leader of the Ash people, okay? And I mean, and the reason I say that is because this is the guy that created the Terminator, all right? One of the coolest, most revolutionary villains of all time, Mr. I'll be back, I mean, and Varang, the leader of the Ash people here, she is just another of many types of, disaffected villains we see in movies nowadays where, sure, pardon me, man, that was not cool. Sure, they're a villain, they're a baddie, but they're just misunderstood. And they supposedly have a legitimate reason to be bad, okay? I mean, she's basically the Joker. She's basically Heath Ledger's Joker from The Dark Knight with a tail. Okay. And, she doesn't get a big, bad scenery chewing introductory scene for her character whatsoever. I mean, now that's one thing you can't say about the Joker in The Dark Knight because he got two. I pretty much got two really big introductory scenes in The Dark Knight. Remember, there was the bank heist, that the movie started out with, right? And you got the big reveal there where he takes off his mask and he's like, that which does not kill you makes you stranger. as he's introducing himself to the bank manager there. And then later on, for a little further on in the Dark Knight, he comes in while all the Gotham City's, gangsters are having their, their little deep therapy session there, and the Joker comes in laughing, and went, and I thought my jokes were bad, and he just has that whole very kick-ass scenery chewing scene, where he takes the guy and stabs him in the eye with the pencil, ta-da, just a really cool ass scene for the Joker in the Dark Knight. And Varang or whatever, however you say her name, the leader of these Ash people, I guess the new villains, they introduced in Fire and Ash. Yeah, she doesn't get any scenery chewing scene like that. I mean, she just mugs and snarls, in this movie the whole time. And then, of course, another feature, another thing they have her do in the movie is basically provide horizontal refreshment for Colonel Quaritch there after he impresses her with his big guns. And it's Oona Chaplin who plays Varang. And Oona Chaplin, she is a good actress. And let's face it, her character, Talisa Stark in Game of Thrones, got done dirty. All right. Like, damn you, Walder Frey. Okay. But however, she can do better, with this particular role or with any kind of future roles that she's in here. But obviously, I'm sure she wanted to be part of a $1 billion franchise, because I mean, whether you hate or you're not impressed with these Avatar movies, I mean, they are big budget, big spectacle, big event movies, and I'm sure the paycheck was impressive. There you go. That'll buy some pot pies right there. But yeah, she's Oona Chaplin was good, and I do. Like I said, the story's a little too simplistic. The characters aren't compelling. I don't care. They're disposable characters who I can't remember hardly any other names. I hate that part of these movies, but I do have to admit, like when you watch the behind the scenes about how they're filming these actors, in their motion capture suits and how they're filming them playing their CGI characters like Oona Chaplin as Varang, and you get Zoe Saldana as Neytiri, and then I forget the main guy's name. It's Sam Worthington. There you go. Sam Worthington plays Jake Sully. It is cool to see how they make how they make that happen, and then just seeing the end result in the movie. It's like, well, that's pretty slick. That's some very lifelike movements that you see, and then just the facial features. Like you see the twitching of their eyebrows and their wrinkles, and you see like the lighting, the light from the sun kind of hit their eyes, and the light from the sun in their eyes moves when they move, and they just get all these intricate details, right and correct, and they're nothing. Nothing is left to chance, and they cover all kinds of possibilities while they're doing this. I mean, there's like one scene, and it's like a water scene when they're on the ocean, and I just remember like thinking like, hot damn, that CGI looks good, man. It's like none of this shit is real, but it looks fucking real, man. It's really great there. So that's why I always recommend going to see these movies at the theater, because you can't deny the spectacle, the visuals of this on the big ass screen. And then of course they're not R-rated movies. You can take the kids to them there, and of course like I said, they're long movies, so just make sure you don't inhale a big gulp right before you go there, or hey, wear some Depends and hey, piss away during the movie right there. But hey, my somebody in the live channel or YouTube's or on the Rumble side apparently doesn't share my same sentiments here. Professor Savage Dad here, one of my good buddies there, or PSD as I call him. He says Avatar movies are a no go for PSD for the Professor Savage Dad family. They no love for the Avatar movies right there. Now I'm curious, sir, and not that I'm trying to convince you to like these movies there, PSD, but what's one of the reasons, or maybe it's the only reason that they're a no go for you? Because chances are they're probably going to be one of the reasons that I'm not the biggest fan of them. Tree sex is weird. It's yeah, they're so yeah. He also says they are just empty. And I think I know what he means about that, because I think I think his definition of empty would be the same as my definition of empty with these movies, where it's just like it's the screenplay, the story, particularly the screenplay and the characters. They just it just doesn't draw you in, right? You just don't care about these characters at all. They don't their personalities are all wooden. They're boring. Particularly the kids, they talk like a bunch of dorks. Like, "Hey, dude, catch up. What's up, dude? Hey, dude. Hey, dude. Hey, man, let's go swing some trees, dude." You know, and then Jake Sully and Neytiri, they're like these one-dimensional characters. There, and so you don't really care about them. I mean, like I said before, I couldn't care if the whole Jake Sully family got completely wiped out. I'd be like, oh, oh yeah, but do we still get to see cool explosions and battles? Yeah. All right, cool. All right, there you go. I'll send flowers. I don't care about the whole family got taken out. All right. So and then of course, like you said before, tree sex is weird. There and yeah, it's well, you get a little bit better, a little bit more of that tree sex. You get Colonel Quaritch and that new villain character Varang. Doing Varang provides Colonel Quaritch some horizontal refreshments in this there, but thankfully they don't show it. So and the person says, "You seen Dances with Wolves? It was a better movie." Oh yeah, Dances with Wolves leagues better than any Avatar movie there. I mean, it won the Best Picture for a reason, right there, and that's a fantastic movie. It's like it's always floating around in my top 5 movies of all time, right there. So and it's a so it's but and in that movie, you care about Kevin Costner's character, and stands with a fist, and the Indian friends that he makes, and that kind of thing. So it's so yeah, really good movie there. But so James Cameron, I don't know. I think the thing is, he's so laser focused on like all the visual effects and CGI that I think he like if you give him an hour, if you just take an hour of time, hour time right there, basically you'd spend like 55 minutes on the CGI and 5 minutes on the screenplay. Okay, and that's why we get the boring, one-dimensional, stupid, non-compelling characters in this movie that are disposable, and you really don't give a crap about what happens to them whatsoever. So there you go. But yeah, appreciate the input on that there, PSD, on that. And anybody else in the live chat, yeah, if you guys, let me know how you like these Avatar movies, or or the individual Avatar movies. Do you love them? Do you like them? Or are you indifferent? Or are you like meh? Or do you just hate them with the heat of 1,000 suns, or hate them with the heat of 1,000 Pandoras? There, so it's all good. I mean, and that's the thing is like I kind of touched on it before. It's just disappointing because James Cameron has made so many better movies than Avatar. It seems like he's settling, right? Doesn't it? It just seems like he's settling, because he's the guy. He gave us Terminator, and T2, and The Abyss, and True Lies, and Aliens, and Titanic, there, and then he just gives us Avatar, okay, and the only reason that they are of note is because of the revolutionary visual effects that they have. I mean, you can't argue that any movie has had better effects, more revolutionary effects than these movies are right here. I mean, that's the reason why they cost a buttload of money to make these things. But there's a million movies that have had a better story and a better screenplay than these movies right here. So just disappointing in that respect there. But anyway, let's do this here. First off, the most important thing I need to attend to is getting a drink off this beer right here, because I'm getting parched over here. And hey, drink them if you got them, everybody. Oh yeah, Man, those Germans know how to make a brew. Sure, they sure do. Sure, they like to invade the occasional, country every once in a while, and they like to, terrorize the employees of the Nakatomi Corporation and Nakatomi, Tower on Christmas Eve. They do scandalous things like that. Those crazy Germans, but they also make good cars and they brew good beer. So you got to give them their due right there. So, all right, let me double check here, make sure I haven't missed anything. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that guy that misses anything up on here. So we go. There we go. Sweet. All right. So we are up to my favorite segment of every Movies America spoiler warning episode. And if you've watched this show before, ad nauseum that my favorite segment of every Movies America studio or spoiler warning episode is the movie military moment. And I should explain to you what the movie military moment is, of course. And what that is it's a segment of the show that where I give myself a few minutes to pay homage or pay tribute to someone that has won the Congressional Medal of Honor, right? A service person, member of our military that has won that has been a recipient, I should say, of the Congressional Medal of Honor. And so I read their citation, I read their name, of course, and the citation, describes what they did to become a recipient of the Congressional Medal of Honor, because I'm ex-mil myself, and so I'm a very patriotic person, and so I've just, I know I have this show, out there that I broadcast, and so I was like, hey, why don't I take a opportunity to incorporate, a little bit of my love for the military and those who have sacrificed for this country into this show, and try to pencil it into the show in a probably kind of a pseudo slick way. I was like trying to, when I was coming up with the segment, I was really desperately, on the struggle bus trying to figure out how do I incorporate, paying tribute to Congressional Medal of Honor recipients with movies, and it was work. It was work to kind of figure out a connection, but I did come up with a connection here, and I'm going to tell you what the connection is, but not before I do this. All right. So the connection. I owe you an explanation. The connection between, me reviewing movies and me paying tribute to Congressional Medal of Honor recipients is this. So as you would imagine, if you are a recipient of the Congressional Medal of Honor, you didn't get it for, raking up the most leaves on the Air Force Base, or, being, the best boot polisher, on the Marine base, or kissing the most ass, or anything like that. No, you got it for doing something very heroic, very brave, very something where just if you saw it with your own eyes, there live while it's happening, it would be like this earth-shattering, emotionally charged, just take your breath away moment, right? If you were there to watch the recipient of the Congressional Medal of Honor throw down and do what they did to be awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor, like whether you're a Marine and you're fighting in World War II on Guadalcanal, and you're mowing down Japs, with your BAR, your Browning automatic rifle, you run out of ammo, and you see the guys that you're shooting up, they're compadres, they're about to kill your fellow soldiers over here, and you've got there's that thumb, and all you got is like one grenade, and you've already killed like 100 of the enemy, and all you have is like this one grenade left and no ammo, but you got to take these Japs out over there because they're gonna kill your fellow soldier. So you pull the pin on that grenade, you run over to that pillbox with all those Japs in there, you jump in there, and you make the ultimate sacrifice, but you save all your buddies over there. And so at the end of the day, they're like, oh my God, man, how many Japs, how many of the enemy did Private Ebert take out? Like, oh, wow, man, I'll tell you, I was keeping count here. And man, he had to take out about 110, 111 of the enemy, and so then Private Ebert's commanding officer hears about that, puts him up for the Congressional Medal of Honor and all that stuff, and with all the stuff that Private Ebert did to win that Congressional Medal of Honor. Again, it's mind blowing, it's earth shattering, and if you saw it on a big movie screen right in front of you, it would be a marvelous movie military moment, and that's the connection right there. Okay, now you might call that weak sauce. It is what it is. All right, but what is not weak sauce is me paying tribute to the Congressional Medal of Honor recipient. And tonight's Congressional Medal of Honor recipient that I'm paying tribute to is one Private First Class Raymond Michael Red, is his nickname, Red Clausen Jr., who fought in Vietnam there. And so he's Private First Class Raymond Michael Red Clausen Jr. Okay, so that's a mouthful. There you go. But let's go ahead and we'll pay tribute to Private First Class Clausen Jr., but I really think that the Private First Class does deserve some great movie military moment music, don't you? I think so. So let's get that on the road here. All right. This is the movie military moment. And in this movie military moment, we pay tribute to Private First Class Raymond Michael Red Clausen Jr., who fought for us in Vietnam. Let's find out more about what the good Private First Class did to be awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor, shall we? For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life, above and beyond the call of duty, while serving with Marine Medium Helicopter Squadron 263 during operations against enemy forces, participating in a helicopter rescue mission to extract elements of a platoon which had inadvertently entered a minefield while attacking enemy positions. Private First Class Clausen skillfully guided the helicopter to a landing area cleared by one of several mining explosions. 11 Marines wounded, 1 dead, and the remaining 8 Marines held in their positions for fear of detonating other mines. Private First Class Clausen quickly leaped the helicopter and in the face of enemy fire, moved across the extremely hazardous mine-laden area to assist in carrying casualties to the waiting helicopter and its forward. With the ever-present further by his focus, he continued his valiant effort, leaving the comparatively safe area of the helicopter and extermination and carry out his rescue effort. On occasion, while he was carrying one of the wounded, another mine detonated, killing a foreman and wounding the other man. Only when he was certain all Marines received reward, and he stood with the pilot to lift the helicopter. By the courageous, determined, inspiring effort based on the utmost danger, Private First Class Clausen upheld the highest position of the Marine Corps and of the U.S. Naval Service. Private First Class Raymond Michael Red Clausen Jr. for what you did to be awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. And that has been the movie military moment. Sweet. There we go. So that is the least I can do for Private First Class Clausen right there. And man, that's so motivating because it makes me like after I'm done with this episode tonight, I want to run through a wall, man. I just want to like get out there and I just want to get active and it just runs some of this energy off, man, because I'm fired up about hearing about what some dude did, back in what was this? It was 1970s. It was even before I was born. There. So, but yeah, that's one thing I do, and you guys can do this too. I would recommend is if you ever wake up and you're all groggy and lazy and just like, you're basically at the point where you're like, you know what, I think I could just settle for a day of sitting on the couch, scratching my nuts all day long, and you have absolutely no energy, but you want to have the energy. Well, you know what? Go to this website that I get these Congressional Medal of Honor citations from, cmohs.org/recipients. That's cmohs.org/recipients. And read one of these citations, and man, it's going to be like Popeye eating his spinach, man. You'd be like, yeah, all right. So much for sitting on my couch and scratching my nuts all day. I'm going to get up. I'm going to be productive, man. I'm going to get something done. Yeah. And so that's these citations, cannot, can be more than just something that's entertaining to read. They can be very motivating for you right there. So I would recommend that and check that out. But and then also, as I always say, hey, if you happen to know, friends or family of any of these, soldiers, any of these service men, these service people that I'm talking about, let them know about this tribute that I'm doing for them, and turn them on to this episode. Send them a link to this episode, and yeah, they might get a hoot. They might think it's a hoot that this guy, a complete stranger, is paying tribute to their loved one right there. I mean, I know if I was them, I'd be like, that's badass. All right, pretty sweet. Like, hey, that's my uncle, or that's my grandpa, or that's my brother he's talking about right there. That's badass right there. So yeah, always encourage that. But with that, let's wrap up this movie military moment. All right, that was a lot of talking there, so I need to wet my whistle. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, and all right. So moving on here. So now is when I kind of beg for money here. I know it's pathetic, it's whiny, but just when I let you know that, hey, if you are appreciating anything in particular that I'm doing on this show, or like my Sunday show, my studio, or my spoiler free show that I do on Sunday, enough to throw a buck or two my way, by all means, you most certainly can do that, or you can gift a subscription to somebody else here, subscription to Movies Merica there. If you're feeling particularly generous, okay. If you're right there and you're like, man, I just feel like giving tonight. You can gift a sub to somebody else there in the live chat. Or again, if you want to just throw a buck or two or 5 or 10 my way, you most certainly can do that. And so this is how you do that. Okay, so if you're on Rumble watching the show, in the live chat window, down by where you type in your live chat message, there's a button with a $sign on it, and you just got to click on that, and it'll just ask you. It'll pop up like a window, and it'll ask you how much you want to donate to this guy right here, and that's it. Very simple. All right, very easy. Now, in order to give a gifted sub in Rumble, you just got to click the button with the gift box there, and that'll gift a sub to somebody. I think it costs like $5, basically, is what that is there. So, but your chance to be generous. Now, on how to do that in YouTube there, as far as like throwing some money my way. In YouTube, it's very similar. It's uncanny how similar it is to how you do it on Rumble. So in YouTube, in the live chat window, down by where you type in your live chat message there's a button, but instead of having a $sign on it, it has a dollar bill on it. And just got to click on that dollar bill button, and again, another window will pop up asking how much you want to donate, and that's it. So there you go. That's me begging for money right there. But again, and it doesn't have to be much, but $1 or $2 or whatever there. And that's only if you feel like I deserve it. If you watch my episodes, you appreciate me doing the movie military moment, paying tribute to a Congressional Medal of Honor recipient, or what I do on the Sunday show where I warn you if a movie is woke, in my "Is this movie a woke after school special" segment? Okay, because I mean, if I don't want you guys, I don't want you, guys and gals to go and and plunk down money for a movie at the theater just to find out the hard way that it's a woke after school special. All right. You go to a movie to be entertained, not lectured and preached at. So all that stuff right there. Or if you appreciate, the beer reviews that I do in brew review time there, or just overall, just giving you like the regular guy perspective, though, a regular guy review or opinion on movies. If you appreciate that enough, yeah, again, throw some money my way, and that is how that works right there, everybody. There you go. I love it. There we go. That's how we do things here. All right, what should we talk about next here? Oh, I know. This is where I should tell you, hey, what movie am I going to be talking about next week? Okay. Obviously, this week it was Avatar Fire and Ash, which I was a little late to, but in my defense, Avatar Fire and Ash came out during our Christmas break. And so I came, and did my Avatar Fire and Ash shows a little late to the party. Okay. I mean, James Cameron was like yelling down from the window, "Welcome to the party, pal!" And so I was a little late on that, but it's all good. But on this movie that'll be doing this next week here, I am not going to be late to the party because this is a brand new movie that just came out, or that is coming out tomorrow. And that movie is Greenland 2 Migration. Let me say it again because I think I said that kind of weird. Greenland 2 Migration. Yes, that island, that country that Trump wants us to go in and take over, and I could not agree with him more. I think it'd be kind of cool to have Greenland there as part of America. Think of all the weapons we could put there, and that'd be sweet. All the minerals and all the goodies we could get from that. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother type of show right there. But so Greenland 2 Migration with Gerard Butler and Morena Baccarin there, and you guys might know Morena Baccarin best as Deadpool's girlfriend. Okay, in the Deadpool movies, they're smoking hot, right? Exactly, yes. So, and then I can't remember who else Greenland 2 has in it, but I just can't get past Morena Baccarin there. So it's she has a way of distracting us guys there. But that'll be the movie. That'll be spoiler-free reviewing this Sunday on Movies America Live. And then a week from today, I will be doing my Movies America spoiler warning all about Greenland 2 Migration. And now, of course, obviously, you might be wondering, hey, Van, you're reviewing Greenland 2. How was Greenland 1? Did you like Greenland? And I did. I thought that I went into it with low expectations because I thought it was just going to be just another lower budgeted, cheesy, the Earth is coming to an end movie, but it was better than I was expecting. It's Gerard Butler really put in a very emotional, very heavy performance in that movie. You really feel for him, but you really feel for his wife, played by Morena Baccarin, and I think they have a son there as well. And they play their roles so well that you really are rooting for him. It's not a movie where I don't care if these guys die in this world-ending catastrophe or anything like that. I don't care. This one, you're because especially with the kid, you're man, I don't want that kid to die. And so it's a really good movie. They do the first Greenland. They really make the most out of the budget that they have. They have some pretty impressive action set pieces with visual effects, and it's one of those movies that you'll watch and be like, oh yeah, did I just see a headline about some asteroid, some meteor heading towards us? And if you think oh, is it just another Armageddon or what's the other one? Deep what is it? What's the other one with Morgan Freeman? And Deep Impact. Yeah, Deep Impact. Deep Impact. Or if you think it's another one of those, no, it's its own movie. It's pretty good. So I'm really hoping that Greenland 2 Migration that I'll go see this weekend, I'm really hoping that's good there as well. So, but that'll be the movie for next week. And let's double check here. I want to see what we got here, and we're good to go. All the chats are good to go right there. And real quick here, just let me implore you / borderline beg you is if you would follow me on all the platforms that I'm on. I'm on all these platforms under Movies Merica or at Movies Merica. On X, I'm on there under at Movies Merica. On Facebook, I'm on there under Movies Merica or Van Eberts. You could and on there, if you'd follow Van Ebert and Movies Merica, the group and the page there on Facebook, that would be fantastic. Follow me under at Movies Merica on X there as well, like I was just mentioning as well. And then also I'm on Rumble, and there's a few. There's like I think 3 Movies Merica accounts there on Rumble, and it doesn't cost you any money, so. Oh yeah, please, follow all 3 or 4 Movies Merica accounts on Rumble. Okay, that'd be fantastic. And then I'm also on Gab. I'm on. If you go to YouTube, you can go on YouTube and you can look up like just Movies Merica and then like a movie that I've reviewed, or just type in Movies Merica, and you'll eventually get to a page. It's the Till Death Podcast Network, or TDPN page, that I'm a part of. On the YouTube side. And yeah, just go ahead and follow or subscribe to the TDN page, of which Movies Merica is a part of. And then, of course, that's one of the places you'll find all of my past episodes. And if you're feeling particularly ambitious and you want to go into all my episodes and just start going by all means, go ahead and do that there. And you can do the same thing in Rumble as well, because I've got my Movies Merica. At least one of the channels named Movies Merica on Rumble has all my episodes there. All, what is it? How many episodes am I up to here? Let's see here. Let's go out of here. Go right over here. And I'm up to, what have I got here? I thought there was like a, let's see here. Let's get out of that. No, I got quite a few episodes here. I thought there was like some handy, easy spot here to tell. 311. Yeah, I've got 311 videos. So basically 311 movies that I've reviewed there. So yeah, go on Rumble, and if you want to go in there and start going through all my past episodes and just start going by all means, you can definitely do that. And also, because the reviews of all kinds of past movies, it's a really handy spot to go to. Like if you're just kind of browsing your Netflix algorithm and all the movies they're recommending to you, or Hulu or Amazon Prime or HBO Max or whatever, and you're going through there and you're like, man, that movie, I don't know, it's got a cool thumbnail and the description's kind of compelling. Just don't know if it's good or not. Well, just fire up Rumble or YouTube and just type in, Movies Merica, and then the name of the movie you're thinking about watching. And pretty good damn chance that you're going to find an episode where I'm reviewing it there. And my episodes are, they're like anywhere from 45 to an hour long, but you don't have to watch the whole episode to just get my opinion on the movie. What you can do is you can fast forward to the last 10 minutes of the episode, and that's where I have my final thoughts about each movie. And that way you can save yourself the pain and anguish of watching a movie and half an hour or halfway through you're like, God, why didn't I look up this movie on Movies Merica and find out that this movie sucks balls right here? I mean, I could have saved myself all this trouble right there. And if you watch a bad movie, frankly, and I reviewed it, and you watch a bad movie, that's your fault, because you could have went to Rumble, could have went to YouTube, just typed in the name of the movie in Movies Merica and got my review of it right there. Because again, I provide common sense, regular guy, Joe Schmo reviews of movies. I don't give like the hoity-toity film school student reviews of movies or anything like that. So, or like the shill reviews, the movie critics where they're easily bought off by the studios to give good reviews. I'm nobody's shill, that's for sure. So it'd be like, hey Van, if you're a shill, you sure aren't taking much advantage of it, because you do not have the follower count for a movie shill, that's for sure. But anyway, so that was my campaign imploring you to follow me on any of those platforms. And if you let me know, through DMing me on Twitter at my @Movies Merica that you followed me, I will follow you back right there. Least I could do. So, all right, let's get ready to wrap up this episode of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning right there. And let's double check that. There we go. And but again, I want to thank everybody for watching this episode live or the recording of it here. Okay, so if you're watching this later on, first off, hi, how you doing? Thanks for watching, and hey, feel free to forward this link to this episode to family, friends, anybody that you even remotely suspects likes movies of any kind. Right there, that way that you're not hogging all the movies Merica to yourself. There you go. But anyway, as I get ready to wrap up this episode of Movies Merica, spoiler warning, as I always say, get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya. Howdy, my movie maniacs and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics. Would you do me a favor and check me out at solo.to/moviesmerica? That's where you would go for a one-stop shop for all the links that have to do with me, Movies Merica. And then also, if you want to check out the audio-only podcast versions of my Movies Merica live episodes, that's my spoiler-free reviews that I do on Sunday, you can go to moviesmerica.com or Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, places like that. And then, actually, if you would also check me out on the social media sites like X and Instagram and Facebook and Gab. And I'm on those locations all under @MoviesMerica. So it is very easy to find me out there, all right? So get to it, everybody. All right, thanks for watching. Later.
Hey guys, don't leave the video quite yet. Okay, I've got the Popo. They're coming after me, and I don't have much time to tell you, but you need to like and subscribe this video right here down below. It's right down there. It's just waiting. It's waiting for you down there, okay? And make sure you watch these videos over here too. You'll be doing me a big favor. I'll be in handcuffs pretty soon. All right, thanks for watching.